Why billionaires are losing faith in the US dollar. Imagine being one of the richest investors in the world. You have access to the best economists, the best analysts, the best financial data money can buy. Now imagine that those same experts start telling you something unexpected. Not to buy more dollars, but to slowly reduce your exposure to them. That may sound shocking. After all, the US dollar has been the king of global finance for decades. It powers international trade, it dominates global banking, and it remains the world's primary reserve currency. So why are some of the world's wealthiest investors quietly moving money elsewhere? The answer begins with a problem that has been growing in the background for years. America's debt. Right now, the United States is carrying one of the largest debt burdens in human history. Every single year, Washington spends more money than it collects. To cover the difference, the government borrows more, and then it borrows even more. For a long time, investors weren't worried. America had the strongest economy, the strongest financial markets, and the most trusted currency in the world. But today, the conversation is changing. The numbers are becoming harder to ignore, and some of Wall Street's biggest institutions are starting to pay attention. Because debt itself isn't always dangerous. The real danger appears when debt grows faster than confidence. And confidence is the foundation of every currency on Earth. The US dollar isn't valuable because it's made from special paper. It's valuable because people trust it. Governments trust it. Businesses trust it. Investors trust it. But what happens if that trust begins to weaken? That's the question some billionaire investors are asking. According to recent reports, many wealthy family offices are reducing their concentration in US dollar assets. Some are increasing exposure to international markets. Others are diversifying into different currencies and regions. Not because they believe America is collapsing, but because they believe the future may look different from the past. And when you're managing billions of dollars, even small changes in the future matter. Very few investors believe the dollar is about to disappear. In fact, most experts agree that the dollar remains the most important currency in the world. No serious competitor currently exists. The euro has limitations. China's currency isn't fully trusted globally. And cryptocurrencies remain far too volatile. So if the dollar isn't being replaced, why are investors concerned? Because dominance and strength are not the same thing. A currency can remain dominant while gradually becoming weaker. And that's where interest rates enter the story. For years, high US interest rates helped attract global money. Investors could earn better returns by holding dollar-based assets. That created demand for the dollar. But if interest rates begin falling while debt continues rising, the equation changes. Suddenly, investors start asking new questions. Will future returns remain attractive? Will government borrowing continue accelerating? And how much debt is too much debt? No one knows the exact answers. But markets don't wait for certainty. Markets react to expectations, and expectations can change very quickly. Another trend attracting attention is gold. Around the world, central banks have been increasing their gold reserves. Gold doesn't generate income. It doesn't pay dividends. Yet governments continue buying it. Why? Because gold has historically been viewed as a store of value during periods of uncertainty. When confidence becomes fragile, gold often attracts attention. And right now, confidence is one of the most important themes in global finance. Meanwhile, countries around the world are exploring ways to reduce their dependence on a single currency. This process is happening slowly, extremely slowly, but it is happening. Trade agreements are evolving, financial partnerships are changing, and global economic power is becoming more distributed than it was 20 years ago. None of this means the dollar is finished. Far from it. The US dollar remains the foundation of the global financial system. But foundations require maintenance, and that's exactly why investors are watching America's debt situation so closely. Because history has shown something important. No financial empire remains untouchable forever. Every dominant power eventually faces challenges. The question is whether those challenges are solved before confidence begins to fade. And that brings us back to today. The world's richest investors aren't panicking. They're not predicting the end of America. They're simply preparing for multiple possibilities. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of all. The smartest investors don't wait for certainty. They prepare before everyone else sees the risk. The US dollar remains strong. It remains dominant, and it remains essential to the global economy. But the debate surrounding its future is becoming louder. And over the next decade, that debate may become one of the most important financial stories in the world. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Zelviroxen for more deep dives into investing, money, markets, and the future of global finance. Thanks for watching.